Alright, hey guys, it's Riley here with TechTyro for another Illustrator tutorial. Today it's going to be more research and development kind of on a logo branding procedure. So what I'm going to do is work through kind of the normal workflow that you would approach a client when you're going to do a design. Right now I'm going to use TechTyro as an example. We're going to do new logo concept, and so this is going to be my take on it. What you would do is normally you would approach and ask about things like what kind of colors they like, what they see their company as when they have their logo brand. You can ask them about certain words in their company name that stand out and correlate concepts with that. And then from there, you have a list of things that you can search up for references, for kind of inspirational pictures. And the best way I do that is by just like going up to Google and here we go. Going up to Google and just typing in things. So for TechTyro, one's going to be tech. Simple as that. Look up the images and scroll through those. So with tech, you can see here, just as Google pulls it up, there's a lot of blues and a lot of like clean kind of motherboards. It's very rudiment. And then we'll look up new tab, Tyro. And this is old, kind of looks more, I think like stands out. Older style of teaching, I guess. So probably looking through it here, Google's kind of given me a Hein 57 of images. So we'll stick more with tech. Tech is a way easier way to go through. And then basing on things from concepts of what our company's about. So we like to teach people. We can look at teaching. We use Adobe software. And I look through here, try to pull things out. Adobe's identifies himself with simple blocks, just one tone, two tone kind of things. Yeah, so it's very sleek, of course. Going through here. Just for ideas. I like where this is. Going through this. Looks like school stuff. Chalkboard. Easy like that. We look up computer teaching. Computer teaching. A lot of just pointing at computers. So the main things I think I'll be going from now is this layout right here. Picking out like blocks, kind of this sans serif font. And then over here, looking at like blues, very crisp and clean. And lines that go through. So I want to pull out some reference images now. And probably want to look at something like this guy, just for color and for like the lines, the way it flows. So I'll save this guy. Good old desktop. I'll save this guy too. So now I have a couple reference images, and then the other one is color. And then color is really important because that's a company brand pitch. That's how they identify themselves. For TechTyro, TechTyro has a special tone that we use. It's orange. So I'll try and keep my designs within that realm. And it just so happens it's close to the orange that Illustrator uses. So let's exit out of this. Grab my images from the desktop, hidden over here. Pull up a new file. We'll just do basic size, kind of 6 by 4. And just how our website sits, we don't want to do anything over a 2 by 3 ratio for a logo. So this guy we can scale down. Right now we're looking at its width and size is right here. In case you ever have trouble with an image that is too big, you can always instead just click up on the top with W is the width. Set that to 15. And we'll undo that because right now they're not linked. You can link them together and then they change their values in the same ratio. So 15, drop it down. That's a little bit too big still. We're at a 6 size, and so if we put the width at the same size of our border that's already established, kind of represents the same image there. And then as you can see, this was already at a smaller dimension, so it shrunk it as well in the same ratio breakdown that this was going down. Because this is such a high-res file, it takes up way more space. But we're just using it as a reference, and then afterwards we'll delete it. So we have these guys over here, and they're blocks. So it gives me kind of the idea when we do our logo, we can have a set block pattern with different elements right below our logo, and that kind of describes what we want to do as a business. And so when you think about establishing a logo for a company, you kind of want to put yourself in their shoes and see how they want to portray themselves as a business. And so now this way I can look at not only just doing a type logo that's sleek, but having 4 icons below it that explain in kind of a sideways pattern what we propose as a business, or what we do as a company for our clientele, which is you lovely people that watch all our videos. And so this is a description of what we represent. So I will save these after I establish my logo font type. I like the jitteriness of this. It's up and down. It's dynamic, and it also has a direction. So when you take those elements out of it, you want to look for a font that kind of represents that idea as well. It doesn't necessarily have to be blue, but it still can kind of stick to that rubric. So what I'm going to do for the next episode is go through a breakdown of how I look at fonts and picking out certain elements. It's usually, what's the word for it? It's usually practice and toss away kind of thing. It's really just shooting from the hip and then finding something that works out of like 4 things that don't. So with that, I leave you. Thanks for watching Tech Tyro, and tune in for the next episode of our web series here on how to brand yourself or how to brand another company that approaches you.